Today, I'm not going to talk much about the garden. I'm just using it basically for a background. Well, I think it's better than trying to look at a person, a boring, old, fat, ugly person. I want to talk about homesteading. I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand homesteading, and homesteading is basically like farming and ranching. Homesteading isn't like some people think it's easy. They see these YouTubers doing their homestead and everything is pristine, everything is clean. Homesteading, you really have to work at it. It's a hard job. Yeah, it's not a 5 to 9 job. It's a 24-hour job. When you have livestock of any sort, I don't care if you're a cattle rancher, sheep rancher, pig, goat rancher, whatever you are, I don't care who you are. You are on duty 24 hours. If you're a homesteader, you're on duty 24 hours, especially with livestock. I don't care if you have just chickens or ducks or geese or just goats or just pigs or just sheep or just a milk cow. There's always something happening, especially if you live out of the country. I live in an area to where we have mountain lions, we have coyotes, we have hawks, owls, we have marmots, we have raccoons, you name it, we have it. And we have somebody always wanting to eat what I have, or what another homesteader has, or what a rancher has, or a farmer. A farmer has to deal with squirrels, has to deal with skunks, has to deal with raccoons, rabbits. You have to deal with all these animals constantly wanting to eat anything and everything you have. So yes, you are on duty 24 hours a day. If you just raise dairy cows, that's a 24-hour job. If you just raise beef cows, that's a 24-hour job. Whenever livestock comes into view, it's a 24-hour job. A cow that's due to calve, you have to watch her pretty much all night to see when she goes into calving. If she goes into labor, you have to be out there. There could be complications. Yeah, last year she calved with no problem. This year, the calf decided he's turning around and he's going back. He didn't like what it looked like outside. Just like children. When you have a baby, my daughter had her twins, and the first twin came out perfect. The other one turned around in midstream. Decided he wasn't coming out. His brother told him. And cows and horses and goats and sheep and pigs, every animal that has live birth has birthing problems at one time or another. It doesn't matter. I don't care if she did a perfect time lambing last year. This year, she's got a lamb that's got 2 heads or 8 legs or whatever. You're going to have a problem. You've got to get that kid out no matter what. Same way with goats. Goat's going to turn around right in midstream. Go back. Or it's going to get turned upside down. Or one thing or another. There's always going to be a problem. I don't care if it, for the last 4 or 5 times it lambed or calved or kid or furrowed or whatever, it's going to have a problem one time or another. Even horses. And sometimes they die during the time of birthing, just like humans. So yeah, homesteading, you grow crops, you have a milk cow, you have a beef cow, you have chickens, and you always have something wanting to eat your chickens. A hawk or a weasel or something is going to want to get into that chicken pen. So you've got to make sure that it's animal proof, predator proof. Sometimes they're not predator proof. Sometimes they are. Just the slightest little crack in a board can let something in. Like weasels can squeeze in to some pretty small areas. If you leave the door just cracked a little bit, something's going to crawl in. I've even seen people that have had dogs that were to protect the herd. And all that dog has to do is be up all night long chasing things off. So tired during the day, you turned your back and a hawk or an owl or something came in and got one of your prize birds. Life is hard. There's no guarantees in life. Nobody's promised you anything. If anybody's promised you something, they're lying. I love farming. I love ranching. I love my livestock. I enjoy them. And yes, you are going to eat something that you've bottle fed and you raised, and they love you, and then you have to kill it because you have to eat. The stores aren't going to have food. They keep talking about how food shortages is coming into view. And I believe it. Look at the farmers in the Netherlands. Look at the farmers in some of these other countries that they're trying to destroy. Drought. Farmers are destroying their crops because they can't water them. Their water's been turned off, or they just don't have the water anymore to water their crops. This isn't the first time we've had droughts. This isn't going to be the last time we have droughts. But it's going to be a tough time. And our government, our world government, is making it hard on us. So the best thing to do is toughen up. You're going to have to eat that calf that you bottle fed and raised. Or you're going to have to kill that cow that got down and couldn't get back up. And you did everything you could to get that cow on her feet again. Or that steer on his feet again. He was going to be next year's dinner. You filled him up with antibiotics and all kinds of stuff to get him back on his feet. But he just won't stand up. He's more or less given up. And you have to give up. So yes, it's going to be hard. Very hard. I have watched my guineas, one by one, the Keats, disappear until I have 2 left, and it's heartbreaking. You want to ask why? It's life. Survival of the fittest. That's all of us. We're all survivors of the fittest. I'm not wanting to discourage anyone from being a homesteader or going into farming or ranching. Please do. That's what you dream of. Do it. Don't let somebody try and kill your dreams. Hang on to those dreams and do it. That's what we do. Don't listen to some of these people that say, oh, you'll never be this or you'll never be that. Don't listen to them. You be what you want to be. You become what you want to become. You want to become a farmer? Please, become a farmer. You want to become a rancher? I don't care what kind of rancher you want to be it. And enjoy it. And know what you're getting into. Study. Work on a farm. Work on a ranch. Help out your neighbor who's a homesteader. Just go in there and say, hey, I'm going to volunteer my time. I have a weekend, and I don't have anything to do this weekend. And I'd like to try. I'd like to work with you on being a homesteader. I want to learn the ropes. Go for it. Don't ever, ever let anybody destroy something that you want to do. That is so wrong. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just letting you know that it's going to be hard. You're going to cry a lot. You're going to have some sleepless nights. You're going to wonder what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. It's life. And life is not going to be any easier. Today, tomorrow, next week, next year, next month. I don't care when. In 20 years from now, it's still going to be the same. We're not changing anything. They're talking about global warming. This planet is changing. It changes like we change. It changes all the time. It's constantly changing. Look when the dinosaurs. Look when the Ice Age. And look now. It's changing. It's like the seasons change all year. We have the spring, the summer, the fall, the winter. And so the earth changes with it. It changes with life. It's either going to make life easier or it's going to make life harder. And to me, I think all of our modern conveniences aren't as convenient as we think they are. Everybody wants you to do everything anymore on the internet. What happens when that crashes? What happens? All your information is on that internet, is on your computer, and yet it's crashed and you have nothing left. People get into our computers. They can get into the government computers. So nothing is safe. They say it is, but it's not. But I just was wanting to just kind of mention that homesteading isn't going to be easy. But please, if that's what you want to do, do it. Don't ever, ever let anyone tell you you can't do it. Don't let your parents, don't let your brother, don't let your neighbor, don't let the homesteader next door to you tell you. Just because he couldn't make it doesn't mean you can't make it. Anyway, I'm just rambling on, I think. But maybe this might help a few of you want to do farming, homesteading, ranching. Go for it. Yes, it's going to be hard. And you're going to have some sleepless nights. You're going to have some nights that you run out with a flashlight because you heard something out in the yard. Your cow bawling, or your goats or your sheep hollering, or your chickens making noise like they've been disturbed, or your ducks or your geese. And you're going to be running out in your bare feet in your pajamas or your underwear or whatever you sleep in and running outside to see what's going on so you can protect them. Anyway, I hope I'm not discouraged anybody, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So please subscribe, push the button, the bell, push the like button, make a comment, tell me how you feel, and we'll catch you on the flip side.